Hey, so I've been wanting to make this particular video for quite a while, but I just didn't quite know how to get it across. And I'm not 100% convinced that I can do it in one setting. Um, but I believe I can get enough across that can get you thinking. Okay? So, how to read people. Okay, if you study the Bible a, a lot, like it's your goal in life, and I kind of don't like to use just the word study because it makes it sound like understanding the Bible um, completely intellectually, and the Bible wasn't meant to be fully under it. It was The Bible wasn't written in a way to be fully understood intellectually. I really like how I said that. It was, think about how Jesus was speaking in parables to the people, and if you go read those passages, it talks about how he spoke in a way that intellectuals couldn't understand. Okay, there's more to the Word of God and Jesus than it can be understood with our physical mind. Okay, um, again, to reiterate, we're a spirit, soul, and a body, and spiritual things operate on a plane that is very different from physical things. Okay, so but if you spend a lot of time in studying the Bible, okay, and really asking God to reveal things to you, okay, you're going to uh, in the whole when you get an idea of the whole picture, you're going to see this war, and simply put, it's God versus the devil over our souls. That's the grand war. But another word for it is going to be, oh my god, I cannot spell humility. Humility. I feel like there's an A in there, but I was never good at English, so that's what we're going with. Okay, pride versus humility. Now, somebody asked me, and I can't remember quite the context, but it was a girl I was interested in, and uh, it was quite obvious I liked her more than she liked me, and like we were very open. We talked about it. I think I even like said it out loud at some point, and I was very okay with it. But not to get too far on that. But at some point she said, "But how do you know me?" And that's when this kind of all sparked. I was like, how do I tell her? Like when you get to this, I dare say, a level of understanding the word, you understand people. And I admit I'm gonna be vague here because I kind of don't know how to shoot exactly straight with you. But to back up a little bit, I was told years ago, okay, hearing it from a son about his father, and the son was a friend of mine, and the son said, my dad told me that after about speaking with a person for 5 minutes, he can see right through them. And I mean, that fascinated me, but it also was like, how? I really couldn't grasp that. How can that be done? And I can't tell you a time, but it was several years later when it's like it hit me. It sounds prideful, okay, and I don't know how to put it in a way that doesn't really sound prideful, but the ability to just read people, to understand them, okay. um, I'm trying to, the only examples I can have an easy time coming up with are personal examples, and whenever you tell somebody of personal examples, it often sounds prideful. But I mean, I study myself a whole lot, and in studying myself, it also taught me about others. Okay, uh, that's another way to understand people. If you study the heck out of yourself, you will understand others. Okay, just for a simple scenario, if you poke yourself in the eye, you know it hurts. So you know that you could poke somebody else in the eye and it's going to hurt them. Okay, so the concept is there. If you study yourself, if you know your strengths and weaknesses, then it will help you learn about other people. Okay, and I think the pairing of um, being hypersensitive, of studying yourself and studying the word, it they just go together really well. It's think like if college terms, if you study business and psychology, they're different realms, but if you study both of them, they really complement each other and help each other out. So in reading the word, you see this war of pride versus humility, and and you begin to get a feel of a person really quickly on where are they at on this scale. Okay, um, because the Bible lists loads of examples of pride versus humility, and but to kind of jump on another track real quick, Proverbs was always one of my most favorite books of the Bible growing up. It was, for the longest time, I read the book of Proverbs more than any other, book of the Bible. And think about the things it tells you in there. It teaches you about disciplining your child. It teaches about uh, even a fool will be thought wise if he closes his mouth. So if I see somebody being silent, like, you can think of them as wiser, okay? And you can use that to yourself. If you in conversations be silent and actually listen to other people just will think of you as wiser. So again, like, if you do all sorts of thinking on this, you're studying yourself, you're studying others, and you're also studying how people can view other people, how things you can do will make others view you differently. Like, there's so much to like really think about it. It's such a broad thing. Like, I don't know how to just say, well, this is step 1, 2, 3, how to read people. But I think I can give you enough information to at least get you thinking. Okay, like, uh, I'm trying to think of other examples in Proverbs, but if you just go through the book of Proverbs, you know, a soft reply turns away anger. Um, and when you, again, it's like you learning things to do yourself, because you can put a soft reply turns away anger into practice. So if another person sees that, they'll be like, wow, that's a wise person right there. You know, they were in a heated situation, and he was able to maneuver it to where there was peace. Um, I I kind of view myself as a mediator because I feel like I really can understand a person, and I can't exactly tell you how or why, other than it's I study myself a heck of a whole lot. And over the years, especially the past probably 4 or 5 years, I've studied the Word a whole lot more and strengthened my relationship with God. And, you know, scripture verses like, when possible, be at peace with all people. You know, I like that it says when possible. But, you know, sometimes there's just not an option. But I was thinking about how I can get along with all types of people, okay? And that is a like there's more than one way to say it. Like you could say I understand them, but in another way you could say it is I can read them. I mean, if you read a person, then you can see through their eyes. You can put yourself in their shoes, and you can relate to them. And if you want to be a peaceful person, uh, you know, like the Bible kind of asks us to do, you know, love your neighbor as yourself, be at peace, you know, with everyone when all possible. There's so many other, you know, things talking about peace. You know, Paul, when he's, oh shoot, just slipped my mind. Paul was talking about, let's talk about the things we agree on more than the things we disagree on. You know, so actually, I kind of feel like I'm just going to leave the video right here because I might just keep rambling. But I want to encourage you to study yourself. Okay? Study your personal strengths and weaknesses. And it just happens. Okay? You will understand others. Listen to others. Be observant of when you see somebody else doing something that you do, you might want to work on yourself. Okay, quick example. I don't know if I've shared this before. I know I've told it a lot of times to different people. When I was, you know, around 10 or probably a little bit, few years younger, I was outside playing with my brothers and, well, brother, cousin, and sister. And I don't know exactly what my cousin did to me, but I think he like hit me or something like that in a kind of playful fashion. I don't think anger was behind it. But anyways, I said, "Ooh, I'm telling Mom." And my sister, who's 10 years older than me, she said, "Chris, you do that to him all the time, and he's going to do that to you one time, and you're going to go tattle on him?" And like ever since then, and I mean, I'm less than 10 at this stage, but it left an everlasting impression on me of, you know, don't have double standards. And it's so important to me not to have double standards with people. I I want to be the most fair person. If anything, I'll be on the receiving end of a less fair. Um, but I didn't know how to, I don't know how to fit this in, but I want to say it. But the the more humble a person is, the less attached they are to materialistic things. The more prideful a person is, the more attached they'll be to materialistic things. Um, I listen to a psychologist from time to time, Jordan Patterson. Like, I'll tell you his name. You can go listen to him. Or it might be Peterson. Shoot, I can't remember right now. But I, I haven't heard him talk on this like specifically, but in watching a bunch of his videos, I know that he would agree with this to a degree because he talks about agreeableness and disagreeableness. And Jordan Patterson, in a bunch of his old, I'm just gonna call him Jordan because I don't know if I'm saying his last name correctly right now. But I'm not sure if he proclaims to be Christian. I know in a lot of his older videos he talked about you know, that he wasn't a Christian, but then it seems like there was this transition of he was really suspecting that there was such a thing as a God. And then in some of his latest videos I've looked at, it kind of sounded like he was studying the Bible, and he's like, I don't know for sure, but I'm really thinking there's a God out there. And he's been studying the Bible. But that's a little bit off track, but he talked about agreeableness versus disagreeableness. And he said that disagreeable people make, he quoted some statistics somehow about how they make more money than agreeable people. And well, that makes total sense. Okay, I once told a person I would be a terrible landlord. I said nice people don't make good landlords. Okay, so the theory behind it, if somebody was supposed to be paying me rent, but they said, man, I'm having a really difficult time, I just can't pay it, I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe next month. You know? And like, I don't want that to sound prideful, because I do not want to claim at all that I'm down here. No, I would love to be there, but I can't bring myself to be there. I think it's a journey. I highly love people there, respect people there. You know, in thinking about this video, I had a thought. I was like, I would run a mile. If I met a guy like this and he said he was hungry, I would run a mile to go get him some food and some drink, because I highly respect them, but I can't bring myself to be there completely. Well, let me finish that thought. So, a prideful person, and I don't want to sound too harsh on the prideful, because like you're immediately gonna think, bam, here, okay, and God, he did, yeah, it's difficult to kind of describe, because everybody is somewhere on this line. Okay, Jesus was here, you know. I mean, think about it. When he told the rich young ruler, he said, sell everything you have and follow me. You know, he talked to the disciples, and I can't remember exactly how, but you can go and find it, where when he tells them when they're going out preaching, like, don't carry money with you, don't worry about where you're gonna stay for the night, just go find a person. And you know, the path of humility always values other people more than you value yourself. Okay, and the opposite of that, pride. A prideful person always values their self over other people. Okay, and again, I feel like I've given you a bunch of small pieces to a larger puzzle, but it's my hope that some of these are the pieces that you were looking for, or there are enough pieces that you can take from me and say, I think I can figure out the rest. So I'm gonna leave that right there. I really hope this helped, and if you have any questions, you can comment down below, or get to me on my Facebook. Send me a private message. That's the quickest thing I reply to these days. I did just empty out my Gmail, so maybe I don't really receive anything through there, but I do usually see comments. So yeah, if you ever have any questions, don't be afraid to ask, you know. So I love you guys. Take care. See you in the next video, whenever that may be.